Hey everyone, welcome to TMI Live. Too much information with the Moondog. Thanks for joining me. And I just want to make sure that everybody out there can hear me and see me correctly. We got a little bit of a question from a technical side, whether or not there is any sort of jittery or lagginess. But hopefully there isn't, and hopefully you can hear me perfectly well. I'll look for a comment. There we go. Pick says 5x5, which is radio and military parlance for it's looking good. All right, so let's get started by giving a little plug to our normal sponsor, which is Aura.com, which is my go-to cybersecurity company that I use to keep me safe when I'm on the web. They've bundled a slew of services, including VPN, credit monitoring, fraud alerts, email blockers, and also my favorite feature is their data broker removal service. And that is those services that hold on to and sell our personal private information, things like our physical address, our mailing address, email address, and even our personal social security numbers. They buy and sell and trade this information with marketeers. So that's why you get all the spam and emails and whatnot, but also to organizations and who knows who. So one way you can get yourself off these lists, and there are hundreds of these companies out there, is you have to formally go and connect with them and find out if they have your information for starters, and then formally request to have it removed. Well, it's a tedious process, but if you use Aura, they will do it all for you with just one click of a button. And if you use my link, aura.com/moondog, let me bring that up there onto the big screen here. And I will also post a link in the side chat here. What you'll do is you'll also get a free 14-day free trial of Aura, and that's plenty of time to get yourself off a ton of these lists. Try it out. Use my link, aura.com/moondog, and you will get a 14-day free trial. So it's a win-win all around. All right, so let's get started. And today we have a special prize. Every episode, I like to give away a little bit of a prize to the folks who are on the side chat. Well, for those of you who are lucky enough to be in and around Southern California, well, I have a pair of free tickets to the Golden Trailer Awards. And I don't know if you caught any of my previous TMI from, I think, about a month ago, or maybe even 2 months ago, where I spoke with the two founders of the Golden Trailer Awards. That is the motion picture trailer awards. These are the awards for all those for the previews that we like to watch before films. They're called trailers. Well, there's actually an award show in Hollywood for the trailer producers and editors, and that's going on next week, next Thursday. And if you happen to be in Southern California, or if you're willing to go to Southern California and Hollywood, you can get an opportunity to get in and see the show. So I'll be giving away a special prize at the end of the show. Just type in #GTA in the side chat, and you'll be automatically entered for a pair of free tickets. And hey, DJ Play Nice, not good to see you. I don't know if you're in LA, but this would be a perfect kind of event for you out there. So get your hashtags in for the GTA prize, and that is not the video game Grand Theft Auto. It is the Golden Trailer Awards. All right. And we also have our standard giveaway today. And today I'll be giving you away a couple of different prizes. What we have is a Geisley admin pouch. And this is something I got at SHOT Show. It's a great little pouch that you can, well, it was ostensibly given by Geisley Automatics, which is a gun trigger, an AR trigger and upgrade parts company that you put your show badge in. But this is so useful. It's got extra pockets in the back. It's got a lanyard. It's got a place to put your pen, but you can use this at the beach. You can stick your phone in there to keep it splash and sandproof. You can use it as a little sort of tote wallet. It's really super, super useful. And I'm giving one of these away. And I'm also giving away 2 Vector Optics patches and a Vector Optics poker chip with a 12% off coupon code in the back. So those are the prizes we're going to give away today. And to get those prizes, well, all you'd have to do is put in the hashtag of the mystery brand that we are going to be giving you a clue. This is your visual clue. This is that mystery brand's logo, minus, of course, their name. So put in hashtag and their name in the side chat, and you'll be automatically entered to win the drawing at the end of the show today. And the reason why we picked this company is they are a photography and film company, but it'll become very obvious with our special guest that we'll be bringing in later on in the show. So get your hashtags in, and you'll be entered into the drawing for a variety of prizes today. So let's get started with the new videos that I posted up this week. And for those of you who are into shooting sports, this is a very a very interesting product that everybody was it's very in high demand. This is a new chronograph that is being put out by Athlon, which is an optics company. But this is the chronograph that is $200 cheaper than the most popular new chronograph on the market, which is made by Garmin. Has all the features, actually is easier to use in terms of a menu, and controls, and it's $200 cheaper. So I posted I was able to get one. They were delayed because of the tariff wars. There was a delay and a slight bump up in prices because of the tariffs. So they were introduced at around about $400. Some people have seen them for less than that out in the wild. Let me know if you've seen it for less than $399. But that is still $200 cheaper than the Garmin, which is also in that photo there on the right. So I tested both of them out, and here's a little short from that test.
Athlon's new Rangecraft Velocity Pro is about $200 less than the popular Garmin Zero. It also has a faster calculation and refresh rate. Where this makes a difference is in how rapidly you can fire.
Three shots recorded only on the Garmin. All 5 shots recorded on the Athlon.
So yeah, while the interesting thing is that if you are shooting rapid fire or a little faster, sometimes with the Garmin, if you don't pay attention to when you're shooting, it can miss some of the shots, and that that's kind of an annoying thing, because if you're trying to get your readings, if you're doing any sort of load development or whatever, typically most people do shoot bolt action, but if you are testing, you have to make sure that you give yourself a sufficient pause between each shot. With the Athlon, that's far less of a concern. Now, I wanted to bring in a highlight. Tim Mooney says, if I destroy my Crony F1, that would be my next chrono. Yes, these are great little chronos. I suspect that because of the price, the price reduction, it may cause Garmin prices to go down. I don't know if they will or they won't. But that could even, I don't know if they could match the price, but if they did, it would be a win for everybody. Though I think I'd still pick the Athlon just because of the way that they did their menu system is much more easier to use. Athlon and Porsche Speedster wrote, Athlon hit a home run on improving upon the Zero. I agree. I totally agree. And the question he has, not sure if there are patent concerns. I don't know if there would be patent concerns if the electronics and only if I guess they copied the code, software code on the inside. But I suspect that it's mostly wholly different, and I don't believe that Garmin can patent or trademark the layout of the screen. And the layout of the screen, by the way, is also different than the Garmin. They've switched the position of some of the other data that's on there, and the buttons layout is totally different. So I don't suspect, some people will say, oh, they just ripped it off, they put it in a different case. No, that's not, I don't believe that's the case, because the screen's larger and the actual physical dimensions of the piece are similar from the front, but from the side you'll see a big the Garmin's like wedge shaped, like triangular wedge shaped. The Athlon is straight up and down. So yeah, it wouldn't make sense to make such a huge amount of physical changes and the position of things if you're just going to do a straight up, we'll copy the guts, and it would cost so much more to make all those changes than it kind of removes any and all the benefits of just making a straight up copy. All right. So on my next video, I also posted on my 2A channel was a comparison review between a budget scope, which is a Discovery Optics EDPRS scope, and a Vortex Strike Eagle. And let me just share a little bit of that video here. I've taken both scopes to the gun range so that we can look at a reference target board 100 yards away. At their lowest power of 5, both scopes look remarkably similar. At this point, I'd have a hard time telling you which scope is which. I've taken both scopes up to their maximum magnification of 25 power. There's a little bit of chromatic aberration with the Strike Eagle. You can see a little bit of a purple fringe around the target board. With the EDPRS, there's a little bit of a green or a yellow fringe. Now, in terms of sharpness and fine detail in the center of our image, we can easily see the reactive sticker target on the bottom left of the target board, but we can also see two 22 caliber holes below that reactive sticker target. And looking at the Air Force optical resolution chart on the bottom right, with both scopes, I can make out element 5 or 6 in group -1. So essentially a tie. Now, to be fair, it's not that close in terms of, I mean, there are differences. There are notable differences visually. The Strike Eagle still has a crisper overall view at maximum magnification, a little bit brighter and a little more higher contrast and truer in color. But the question is it worth twice as much for those very subtle differences? I'll leave it up to you. But the Strike Eagle has a street price of about $799. The Discovery EDPRS, I think it's like $359 or $349, somewhere around there. So yeah, big difference. Actually more than double the difference. So I think I would rather go with the cheaper scope personally, but I just wanted to see how much better a Vortex is given the big price jump on there. And sucker does weigh 2.75 pounds is what Porsche Speedster says. Yeah, that's the one thing. It's another big difference. The EDPRS is a much heavier scope. I do like the turrets are much better than the Strike Eagle though. But yeah, it is a heavy beast. And Foxtrot 69 says, just bought the Vortex 2. I think he meant 2 to 7 by 32, but I could be wrong about that. A 2.7 Dead Hood DBC for my Brugger 1022. I'm hoping that he like that. I have nothing against Vortex. They make really good scopes. I have a Diamondback Tactical, and I find the image, the glass to be super crisp. Just in general, a lot more higher contrast and brighter than a lot of other comparable scopes. I like it, but there are much cheaper. So bad typos. Sorry about that. Okay, no worries. That's what Foxtrot 69 said. All right. And on my Moondog Reviews channel, my non-Pew Pew channel, though this is kind of a bit of a crossover, is I posted a video of the best thermal camera that was awarded. This is the award I didn't give. This was the award that was given by the folks at SHOT Show from X-Vision. And let me just share a bit of that.
This is the best thermal.
This series is the best thermal sight. It's compact, it's versatile. You can put it on a handheld, you can mount it to your firearm. It does have 4 different firearm settings. So if we look here, what's really cool, this OK button is actually a joystick. So if I go just straight up, I get that 1 to 4 times digital zoom. If I click OK, I get 4 icons, and you can see going straight up, I can change those color palettes from white hot, black hot, red hot, iron.
That's very intuitive.
Double click out, get out of that menu. You can sight it into 4 different rifles, different reticle options, different reticle colors. So super easy to use, really great for scanning.
Yeah, this is a nice piece. You can mount it. It's got a Picatinny rail adapter at the bottom, so you can put on a handle and use it as just a thermal scanner to looking around if you're checking up on your livestock, or perhaps just making sure that your livestock isn't being stalked by predators at night. You can use it just as a handheld device, or it's about the size roughly of an EOTech, and so you could put it on top of any rifle with a Picatinny rail and use it just as a sight straight up. And it's relatively, I mean, it's relatively affordable. It's about mid-range. It's not the most expensive thermal optic out there, and but it's not the cheapest. But from the feature set and the very intuitive controls with that OK button that is also a joystick, I thought that was pretty nifty. And the way that they've set up the menu screen is really good. So that is the X-Vision thermal camera. And on my Moondog Go channel, my travel channel, I posted up a video from Ground Zero, the World Trade Center Memorial in New York City. Hey, I'd like to. All right, so that is a very somber memorial and site over in New York City. Very, very emotional when you're there. And along the edge of the rim, there's these waterfall cascading sunken in fountains essentially trace the footprint of both World Trade Center 1 and World Trade Center 2 buildings. And I remember when I lived in New York City, I remember when after 9/11, when they had to clear out the pit is what they called it, as really just the bowels of both of the buildings, and they had to clear out all the debris and then rebuild all of this. So I got a chance to catch a little bit of the construction that was going on from nearby buildings, where I would sometimes meet with clients. Like American Express has buildings across the street, and I'd see the construction of all this going on, as well as if you took the PATH train in, there is a PATH train station nearby, and you'd actually go through the pit, the part of it, because they still needed to have people come in to the city. So you would take the train in, and you could see all this construction. But they really did an amazing job in terms of, I think, the design and construction of the memorials. And along the outer edges, there's a railing, and they put the names of all of the folks who lost their lives in both of the buildings, which is very profound. If you get a chance to go visit it to New York, I would recommend it. There is a museum that you have to pay to get into, but this actual memorial area is open to the public. Though sometimes, for whatever reason, they sometimes will fence it or gate it off because of some other, maybe there's some VIP event or something else going on. A couple of times I've gone down there that they've sort of fenced it off or chained it off, that we couldn't get in. And in that particular instance, the part of the cascade water had been turned off. I don't know, for whatever reason. Maybe they're doing maintenance or what have you. Anyway, this is the part of the show where I'm asking for your assistance in putting a headline to a video that's coming up. This is for Swamp Fox Optics, and this is their optic that is on this slide here. And if you have any ideas for a good headline for that, other than Swamp Fox Optics for 2025, which is I'm going to probably use. But if you have any suggestions, please put that in there. Now, let me just go through some of the comments we had from the previous video here. Tim Mooney says, my cousin worked in World Trade Center 1. He made it out. Thank goodness. Thank God. He made it out alive during 9/11. And Mark Marr says, my wife and I direct traffic for wind generator equipment. I believe that is a different comment than the video. So let's say, put a red dot on the title, put red dot in title also. That's a fair point, though the video itself covers more than just the red dots. So, but yeah, for sure. That's a good suggestion. And if you have any other suggestions for a good headline for Swamp Fox, I don't know, maybe some play on the name. Does anybody, by the way, I did find out why they're named Swamp Fox, and I did cover it in the video for those of you who are curious as to why they named themselves. It's actually named after a Revolutionary War hero and the nickname that he had. So Mark Moore says, help you see your mark in the swamp. Thanks for that headline idea. All right. If you have any other ideas and you're watching this later, please post it in the comment section and we'll move along. And because we have a special guest. But before we bring our special guest out today, I just want to give you another clue to the mystery brand that we're going to be giving away. The Geisley admin pouch and our Vector Optics patches and a Vector Optics discount poker chip. So, and yes, is that the Revolutionary War? Tim Mooney says Francis Marion. I believe you're correct. That is the name. I'm forgetting now who the Swamp Fox is, but that's you're probably right on that regard. Very good. And so the clue here that we're going to have for the mystery brand is this company was founded by George Eastman in 1892 in Rochester, New York, and became one of the largest companies in the world. Their simple cameras and film cartridges allowed the average person to take photographs and not just specialist photographers. So they really put cameras and photography in the hands of everyday people and popularized photography really for much of the world. And their first popular camera was the Brownie. So for those of you who are photography nerds, you'll know who this company is. I'm sure everybody who is a photography nerd knows what this company is, but that is your clue for today. Now, I wanted to bring our special guest today down the rabbit hole, and we're going to talk about one of the things that this photographer does, or a lot of photographers do, is they take photographs of celebrities, which is you saw the thumbnail for today's episode. And the people who take photographs of celebrities are often called paparazzi, or specifically, actually, paparazzo is the singular of that. And paparazzo is the name of a character in an Italian film called La Dolce Vita. He was a photographer who took photographs of celebrities, because the La Dolce Vita is about movie stars in Italy back in the, I think, late 50s, early 60s. And one of the characters named Paparazzo, and that's where we get the name paparazzi for based off of that character. And well, my special guest today is an old dear friend of mine, Stephen Shadrach, who's a fashion photographer, and he occasionally takes photographs of celebrities. We went to school together in college, and I'd like to bring into the stage my friend Stephen Shadrach. So, Steve, how are you, buddy? Oh, I think I've got you on mute. Hit that mute button, buddy. I don't know if you can unmute yourself. And no, it's still on. I don't know why it's on mute. I'm trying to hit the unmute mic. Oh no, we've lost him. Maybe he'll log in again. Anyway, let me tell you a little bit about Steve. And Steve and I went to college together. We both went to the Art Center College of Design in Pasadena, which is one of the premier graphic design and art schools in the country. The guys who design all of the cars, like the Teslas and all the other cars, they graduate from Art Center. A lot of them do. And Steve, he's back. Yeah. Okay. Now we can hear you. Hey, Steve.
All right. I'm not used to this new tech. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're old school, like analog photography, right?
Yeah. Well, I do both, but definitely love the old school stuff. As you can see, I saw you posted my picture with my 11x14 camera.
Is that the one that's in the background there? That's the one.
The one.
Same one.
That's the same one.
That is so
Took
cool.
it to New York. I did a road trip a couple of years ago, and I knew I couldn't fly with it. So I said, you know what? I'm going to take that camera and I'm going to drive across country. So we stopped in many different places and I took some photos.
But
And
weren't those cameras designed to, to accordion squish down?
um, yeah, definitely they get much smaller, but you know how traveling nowadays is. You can't take anything more than a backpack, you know?
Oh, right. Yeah, they wouldn't let you take that on as
No, as
in
a
the cabin.
carry-on.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want to check it in, you know.
Yeah,
So
I can totally understand that.
I
That is a
said,
long
no.
drive.
Yeah, no, it was fun though. We went to photograph Fabrice Morvan of Milli Vanilli. You know,
Oh. Oh,
uh,
okay.
so
Interesting.
I went for the Tribeca Film Festival, and he had a movie on about him. Girl, You Know It's True, I think is the name of it.
Oh, it's
And
about
so
them. Yeah.
I've known him for almost as long as I've known you.
No way. I
So
didn't realize that.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I've known him forever, and he's a good guy. He's just got stuck in a bad situation, you know, and so he definitely wanted to. I mean, he's living his life. He's doing so. They did a documentary on him. He said to come on over, so I said, yeah, why not? And my girlfriend and I, we both drove across country because she's never seen the country. So this was a perfect way for me to do the camera. I took it to B&H Camera, set it up outside B&H. Those guys were shocked. You know, they were all like stopping and looking and having a good time seeing 11 by 14 camera. I was taking pictures of the, um, what's the building we can see from there?
From the in
From
the
B&H.
oh from
The
the building you can.
Chrysler, it's not the Chrysler building,
It
is it?
might be because it's further
Yeah.
north than the Empire State Building. So yeah, if you look down,
Wait,
what
it
is
is
it?
the Empire State. I
Is
think
it
it's the Empire State. Yeah,
okay?
it's in my one of my videos anyway. But yeah, I set it up and tried to take pictures of it, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah, um, I do whatever I can. I mean, mostly I'm shooting digital for clients, but this is something I'm enjoying doing also. So yeah,
Now we've known each other since we both went to school at Art Center. But
yeah.
why don't you tell the folks a little bit about your background, where you grew up, and what got you into photography?
Oh, geez. My background, I'm originally from India, lived in Pittsburgh in the 80s, and then moved to Southern California, 81. And 77 to 81, we were in Pittsburgh. So I'm still a Steeler fan, for anybody who knows, wants to know. But we moved here, and you know, every Indian parent wants their kid to be a doctor or a engineer or something like that, right?
And you started
Or
off in
now
the medical field,
IT,
right?
huh? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
now IT. Yeah.
yeah. So now, I mean, I was studying to try to go to pre-med. So one of my courses was photography for just as a humanities course. And so I took it, and I kind of liked it. I sucked at it because my teacher told me so every week.
Oh,
But I stuck with it, you know. And then I found one teacher that said, you know what, shoot what you want. And I
yeah,
started.
because he was obviously wrong.
Yeah,
Here,
whoever.
yeah, because here, let me share some photos of yours. I pulled it off of your Instagram, by the way.
Yeah.
So maybe you could talk about some of these photos. Let me just bring this up here.
Oh yeah, Michelle Rodriguez. That was when they were doing like the Fast and Furious stuff, and I met her and hung out with her in New York for a little bit because of another mutual friend.
Was
We
this in New
went,
York? That photo, the pool?
yeah, this is in the Hamptons,
Oh,
and
okay.
we were
No,
there for a weekend. Oh, that's a weird story,
that's
but
a bougie little weekend then.
yeah, it was interesting. So I had to go photograph. Not had to. They asked me, and I said, yeah, I'll come. So wound up going and hanging out with them for the weekend. And what's her name? Uh, I don't think I've ever told anybody this, but Scarlett Johansson was there too.
Oh,
As
wow.
as we were leaving, they were coming in, and I walked into the bathroom, and I walked into the bathroom, and it turned out she was in there in her in just a towel. But I was like, "Oh, sorry," and she said, "Oh, it's all right." And that was our conversation with Scarlett Johansson. And all my friends are like, "Oh, take pictures of her, take pictures." I'm like, "Nah, I want to leave her alone. I don't know who this person is." I didn't know who she was, but and that's
Oh, so this was pre-Marvel,
oh
obviously.
no, yeah,
No?
pre-Marvel. She had done Islands or something, that movie. I don't remember.
Hmm.
She's like some robot creature, a robot person she played, and
Hmm.
I'd seen that movie before, but I didn't recognize. And this is my problem when people ask me, "Oh, do you do paparazzi work?" And I'm like, Scarlett Johansson went by me and I didn't know who she was. I
Uh,
mean, right? So if anybody
was it the
wants
movie
to,
Lucy? Portia Spitzer said Lucy.
I don't know, I forget. I mean, she was stunning in that movie, and I'm like, wow, what an amazing, beautiful woman. And then I meet her in real life, and I'm like, I had no idea it was her. And basically, that's my problem with being a paparazzi. So I'm not a good paparazzi photographer. I tried I tried doing it while I lived in New York. As you were, I lived in New York. I basically went after 9/11. I moved there after 9/11. Lived right near Central Park. I had a very lucky situation where I lived in a beautiful hotel building, and so I went. But I remember also the time when New York was dead. I mean, there was just nothing going on, right?
Hmm.
And when I saw your video, I was like, yeah, I was there. I saw that, and I remember all of that times. And actually, a week after it happened, I hadn't moved there yet, but I took pictures with an old 11 7, well, a camera that you were talking about, what do you call it? The brand you're talking about.
Hmm.
I have one of those
You have a
from
brownie?
1910.
Wow.
It's a panoramic camera.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
the film is like 7 inches long by 2 1/4. So I did photos of that area with that camera, and all those big flags that were on the buildings, on those huge buildings. They had American flags on them. Remember? I don't know whether you saw it, but I walked around a lot and took a lot of those photos. Yeah.
That's
But,
cool.
but yeah,
Now,
Michelle, and this one, the other one, what's his name? Uh,
Ryan Gosling.
yeah, that guy, Ryan Gosling. um, no, I get invited to photograph red carpets sometime, and
Yeah.
I actually know some people who do films, and I've also done some video, I guess second camera for movies. So I have some connections that way, and I
Or
got to go photograph this because of that.
and
And
this was from the Fall Guy movie, if I
yeah,
recall.
this is Fall
Yeah.
Guy and the people from Universal Studios, Universal, yeah, Studio, the film company. They
Yeah.
invited me to come shoot because I had met them before. Because I don't know whether you remember Monkey Man. Have you heard that
I
movie,
saw
Monkey Man?
that. I saw the I saw the promos for it, and I I didn't actually see that movie. I haven't
Okay,
been watching
so
a lot of movies recently. It's
Dev Patel is
yeah.
somebody I've also photographed. I don't know him personally, but I have the guy who was the second main character in that movie is a good friend of mine. So he invited me to the premiere, and
What I remember is that when I was down in LA, I was trying to meet up with you, but you were on your way to that job.
yes,
Yes.
exactly. Yeah. So I was busy doing that, and I shoot for little magazines here and there, and I do music videos for people, which I don't really promote, but I just keep getting them. So I'm
That's
like
great.
quietly keep doing them, because I
Now,
still feel like I'm a photographer. I went to art school for photography.
well, let me
I
bring up
do
some other.
video.
Let me pick up some portrait work that you did, and Tim
Uh,
Mooney commented Ken, and that's in reference to the fact that the movie
oh
that he
yeah,
was in last year was the Barbie movie,
right.
and where he played Ken. Ryan
Yeah,
Gosling
yeah.
did. But we've got some older portrait photography. We've got Whoopi Goldberg and LL Cool J.
Yeah, the LL Cool J is not old. I just made it black and white.
Oh,
But
okay.
that was just like last year, or so.
Was that in New
Uh,
York as well?
no, this is in LA.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say I almost always carry my camera, 90% of the time. So again, we were driving through downtown, I mean, just Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
And my friend Kevin, who's a director, he said, "Hey, that's LL Cool J." I'm like, "Really? Okay." So I just say, "Okay." I was driving, he was looking, and so I just stopped the car and I said, "Hey, let's go take some pictures of him." So that's what we did. We just parked the car, and he just was so cool about it, and so a brief moment, but photography is all about moments, right? It's
True.
just about the right moment, being in there, the right moment at the right time, and always being prepared. And so this is one of those where maybe I was like a paparazzi, but I had no idea I had driven past him, except my friend
Well, yeah,
told me.
you had to have somebody else tell you who's
Yeah, if
famous.
somebody else tells me I can take a good picture, yeah. But Whoopi, I did Whoopi for Comedy Central. So
Oh,
Comedy
okay. So
Central
this
and
was a promo for.
BBC had a collaboration, and I photographed a bunch of celebrities for Comedy Central, and this was for their promo stuff that I did. So I got to photograph her in LA. This was at, I mean, nobody knows, right? This was at one of those famous hotels in LA. But she was very sweet and very, very cool. So
Well,
I've had a lot of great experiences. I've got to travel all over and work with some beautiful, interesting people all
and I
over
think,
the world. Actually, I
and I've got
yeah.
that's a good segue. I wanted to bring up one of the fashion photos that you
Oh
took,
yeah.
along with, of course, Roseanne Barr.
Yeah, yeah. Roseanne was also with that comedy thing, and Paris was last summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was last summer. It was really hot. It was like 100 degrees
Oh
and
my goodness.
crazy. And she wore that outfit.
Now
And
that is not Roseanne Barr. Wore that outfit?
no, this is this is my girlfriend.
Oh, okay, nice.
We went together and traveled around the world. Traveled around Europe, and she's Chinese, has these beautiful ethnic clothing,
Hmm.
and so we photographed her in different places all over Paris, Spain, Venice, all over Italy. Yeah, so we had a good time last year. That was that was last summer. I can't believe it's been a year already. It's like time flies by so fast.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Yeah, Steve is too humble. Yes, he is. I have to agree with you there. He's
yeah,
my Steve is one of the most unassuming people I know, and that's one of the reasons probably why a lot of folks a lot of celebrities like to have you take photos, because you're not like fawning all over them, and you're not like a sycophant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's a job, and you have to treat it as that, but also treat everybody with respect. I think that's the most thing. We're all human beings. We all want to be shown in a good light, not bad. And I've done some paparazzi kind of stuff when I lived in New York, while I walk around with my camera,
Mm-hmm.
and I've ran into a princess who was smoking, and and she asked me, and it would have cost, I could have probably made a lot of money out of it. She said, but I had just, they had just hired me to go and photograph the event. And so she's seen me around a few times. And so she asked, oh, will you not take a picture of me smoking? And I said, yeah, I don't need that. So they were pretty cool. And that's why I'm not a paparazzi. I don't really want to capture the moment that puts somebody to shame, or will get me more money because I got that. I just don't want to do that, because in the end, I don't want to be treated that way. So
Yeah, that is a wise, very wise
yeah,
way to look at life.
yeah, yeah. Because money will come and go, but people who are your friends, of all things, friends are the most important. I think family and friends.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest is just gravy. We're very lucky to have. It's just, so.
Now that's a good segue, as to, because I had contacted you up to be a guest of this. I was thinking about having you on a guest, but you contacted me actually last week because of a new venture that you got into. Because
Yeah.
one of the side hobbies you have is collecting vinyl, and I don't know how many folks out there in the side chat also are like vinyl collectors, but you got into trying to sell some of your vinyl collection. How many pieces of vinyl you have? Over 20,000?
I have over 20,000.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. It's gotten out of control. So I need to get rid of some. So I've been thinking, how am I going to sell all this? Because it's hard. I don't want to do eBay. I'm not really into that. But then I found this app, Whatnot.
And thank you for pointing that out to me, because I wasn't aware of it. I kind of heard of it, but I never tried it out. And because of your prompting, I downloaded it and like, oh, this is cool. I'm definitely going to use this to maybe sell some of the scopes and other gear that I get to review that just is piling up in my closet, and it's getting to the point where I really do need to clear out some of this gear. And so I will probably make use of Whatnot. But you're on Whatnot. You told me on the daily.
Well, when I can.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of effort, because it's a live auction. So you are having to be on there hours at a time, but it's a great platform if you want to meet the people you're selling it to, and kind of get rid of stuff, to get rid of stuff that's just cluttering. It's a great way. People buy everything, right? I mean, people collect and buy everything. And I don't just have vinyls. I have cameras, and I have books, and so many other things.
That's
so
the other
vinyls
thing
are the beginning.
Because I knew you collected vintage cameras, like that one you have there.
Cameras since I started art school. So you can come closer. So I collect. I've been collecting cameras since the 80s. So I got a lot of them. And books. I love art books. I love anything old. I like. So try it, and I think you'll have a good time. If you have the time, you do have to invest time into it. That's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do a daily gear giveaway. Does it require that you be online every day, or
No.
like
you can do it anytime, any day. You get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, you can do it. Yeah.
So pick.
somebody has 50,000.
Let me post up a link to Steve's Whatnot page.
Oh yeah, somebody's asking about it. Pick is asking, what's your whatnot? Ah, cool. I need to follow if you are selling vinyls. Yeah, come on over. I might end up going on there after, a little after, depending on how this goes. But yeah, try to go on every night for a few hours. But people are on there till, who knows, man. I mean, nobody goes to sleep because I'm digging through boxes of vinyls. They don't know what is coming next, and they don't want to miss out anything. So they just sit there or fall asleep to my voice, which is nice. And then they wake up and they bid. So whatever, you know. So I've become kind of the guy they fall asleep to. So I guess I should do some voiceovers. You know.
There we go. What time do
Yeah,
you
why
usually
not?
have your show, your Whatnot vinyl
Well,
show?
sometimes 8 o'clock at night I start, and then I'd go to 2, and so 2 o'clock is
Wow.
5. 2 is like 5 o'clock in the morning for the East Coast. So yeah, and they stay up. And these people are staying up and
Wow.
watching.
That's great.
Yeah, another box. But anyway, more about my photography, I guess.
Yeah,
'Cause
tell
we-
us. We didn't get into the camera, the large format camera behind you. How old is that camera?
I would say, I would say this is early 1900s, 1910 maybe.
And
It's over.
it's all original. It's like you didn't have like put any new
No,
parts
I
into
didn't.
it.
I didn't do anything. I bought this off of a guy. Basically, I wanted to start teaching people photography.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I thought, okay. And I was going to go into, I don't know whether you know Icon in LA. It's one of the best labs in the country.
Oh, yeah,
If
yeah,
not
yeah.
the best. So they're a lab, and I used to go print for them, and I used to
Yeah, they
do.
make large format film
They make
prints. Yeah,
everything. I
yeah.
mean, anybody who's like known people, they all send their film there. But anyway, so I was gonna like try to do a teaching kind of thing there. And they have the lab, so you can take a picture and you can develop the stuff right away. So I thought for the new generation that doesn't know how that works, would be a good way to start. But then they told me, oh, 8x10 is too small because their machine may not
Eight
take
by
the
10 is too small.
too small. Yeah. So I went and I said, okay, I can't. What am I doing? You know.
Oh,
So I
let me take a pause here for a second.
yeah
For those of you
yeah
who can watch or are watching this, what we're talking about here, for those of you who aren't into photography. So, standard sheet of paper is 8.5 by 11. What he's
yeah
talking about is that the film negative, the actual film negative is about this size, is the size of a sheet of
yeah
paper. And that's just the negative.
yeah
Most of us are old enough. Remember, a strip of negative, each of those little frames is like, this big.
35 millimeter.
So
Yeah.
what Steve is talking about when shooting with an 8x10, the negative, just one negative frame is this big. So that's why I was surprised when he said that Icon said that was too small.
Yeah, because their their machines are so getting older, and so it's a roll transport. So when the paper goes through, it goes through each rolls of different chemicals. So they're afraid the paper might go under and not come out and stay up on the rolls, right?
Okay.
So they're like, oh, we need a bigger sheet of paper, basically, if you're wanting to guarantee that it's going to go through the machine. So I was like, okay, what's the next 11 by 14? I had never thought I'd find one, let alone afford to buy one. But I looked on eBay and there was a guy selling one.
How much did he, if you don't mind me asking, how much was he asking for that?
Just the camera itself is $2,000.
And then what, you had to buy some extra lenses?
The lenses are, depending on which brand, whatever, could cost $2,000 to $7,000, $8,000, who knows, whatever. You can buy them for really cheap, or you can spend, something like what you want to buy for a used car. So I have been collecting since the 80s or 90s these kinds of lenses. So suddenly now these lenses that have been sitting around with me have become useful. So I started shooting with them. Yeah, not often, but I do shoot with it. Yeah.
So Tim has a question. Where do you find film nowadays?
There's a place, Freestyle. It's
Freestyle?
called Freestyle. Yeah, they've been around forever. Sammy's camera also B&H in New York, but Freestyle is in California, LA, and so is Sammy's. They're great. They're great people, and they've been selling this stuff for ages. So
who still makes film? Ilford, Fuji?
Yeah, Ilford does, Kodak, and Fuji. I think there's some private ones that do still make it, but
Private ones. Oh,
I
okay.
think Harman. I think I have a box called Harman, but I think that's with Ilford. I'm not sure. But yeah, you can buy 11 by 14, maybe bigger. I don't know. But this is all I'm going for now. 11 by 14 is enough. They do have 20 by 24. People use 20-inch by 24-inch cameras.
That's wild.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's a huge. Yeah, it's not a big market, but it's a niche market that.
It's a very. It reminded me that back during 9/11, some photographer did do a project where he used a large format camera, but I think they were using Polaroids.
That they were doing probably the 20 by 24 Polaroid.
Well, it was a life-size Polaroid print, so it was like 6 foot.
Oh.
Yeah, so like 60-inch or more. I don't know.
I don't know about that camera, but
yeah, I thought that was crazy. But it was I forget, was the photo museum over in Midtown. Do you know which is it which I forget which museum of photography.
Leica has a museum, but that's in downtown.
Okay. Yeah, this was in Midtown, like over near the library, but they were doing an exhibit on that. But anyway, sorry, you're saying about who makes that camera, by the way, that large format camera that you have?
The company that you're promoting right now.
Oh, okay, all right. So that is okay. So the mystery company.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we didn't even talk about that. And when I saw you put that up, I'm like, oh, okay, that's that camera made by them. Yeah.
Well, I looked. We're getting towards the top of the hour, and usually I'm mindful of the time that you agreed to give. So I try not to go over that. So let's wrap up and actually give away some of these prizes and give the clue as to this company here. So let's get into the contests, folks. And the mystery, the mystery brand here. Here's our final clue. This company created the first handheld digital camera. We're talking about digital cameras briefly earlier, but they actually created the first handheld digital camera back in 1975, but they chose to just shelve it and ignore digital cameras, afraid that it would hurt their film and film processing business. So by the time they got serious into digital cameras in the late 90s, it was game over already, because Canon, Sony, and Nikon had already dominated the digital camera market. And by 2011, for that and a number of other reasons, this company declared bankruptcy. So if you know what this company is, put your hashtag and put the name of the company in the side chat. And we have Hellbilly finally joining us at the end here, probably just to win the prize, but but good to see him joining us. So get your hashtag in for the name of this mystery film company. I'm seeing we have 7 entries already for that giveaway. And
I can do it too, right? No.
Yeah, just put hashtag.
I don't know. If I did, I would go out of your show. I don't even want to touch this thing.
Yeah, I don't know how that works in terms of
I'm just kidding.
Putting in the phone.
Just kidding.
But I want to since we have the time here, do first the special prize, which is the tickets to the Golden Trailer Awards. And here's it's at the Orpheum Theater in Los Angeles. So you do have to be if you win the prize, it's not going to do you any good if you can't get into downtown LA next
That's
week
true.
on Thursday. And Steve actually will be there. So Steve will be your special guide to the show.
Sure, yeah. You can carry my back. You can carry this camera around for me.
So actually, Steve will be working. He'll be taking photos of the event.
Yeah.
So aside from also just enjoying, I don't know if I should be saying this, but the Golden Trailer Awards has a pre-party and after party that's just off the hook in terms of the bar. So for no
Oh,
other reason, I would say you want
perfect.
tickets to the Golden Trailer Awards for those of you who are out there who can get to LA. So be sure to type in hashtag GTA on the side, and I'll be bringing in, I'll give you a second to get that in here. But I also wanted to promote, I have 2 contests going on right now on my website. One of them is to win these Pro Hear electronic earmuffs, and that's going on this month, as well as a chance to win this Easy Shoot 1-6 LPVO. And both of those contests are going on right now. All you have to do is subscribe to my travel channel, Moondog Go, and I'll post up a link to my travel channel right now. So if you're not already subscribed to that channel, go to that link, hit that subscribe button, and take a photo, take a screenshot of, or with your phone, you could take a photo of that subscribed button that it's already been selected, and you can enter into the contest. I will put in the Pro here. I'll put the contest page. You can go find about both of these contests on my website at moondogindustries.com/contest. So I will bring up, let me share the screen for the giveaway tool for the Golden Trailer Awards tickets right now. And hopefully you can see it. Oh, we have 1 entry. So whoever entered is going to win. I'll give a second here for anybody else who wants to enter the contest. But
is anybody on Whatnot? I wish they could go on there.
And do it live. Well, unfortunately, you're on your
Whatnot too, and
yeah.
I'm saying they should come on here and enter, because some of them are from LA area. These guys.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
So let me see. I don't even know if I can do a drawing if there's only 1 entry. Oh my goodness,
right.
I can't. Here, let me just put in my Porsche Speedster. Just typed in GTA, so hopefully we'll see here. I think he's the only person who typed in. So I'm going to give it to you, Porsche Speedster, since you're the only person who typed in enter the contest. So for Porsche Speedster, send me an email at here. I'll post in the link to my email address. Send me an email. Put in hashtag GTA in the subject line, and that way I know. Which prize this
Who my
is.
assistant is.
Yes, who Steve's assistant is going to be for the Golden Trailer Awards, and you'll be meeting Steve over there. And I'm sure, Steve, would you be kind enough to take a Porsche Speedster's photo when you're down there?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay, so there you go.
Yeah.
You've got a professional. You're going to get a professional portrait done for you by Steve Shadrach here.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right.
Okay, and I'm going to bring up the final. Let's see, share screen, stop share screen, and I'm going to share screen again, and we're going to do the final giveaway for our mystery brand. And we've got 7 entries here.
Oh.
So we've got 4 prizes. So let's do our first prize, which is a Vector Optics patch. So let's draw and we've got 2 of these. So we're going to do 2 draws. So I'm going to press that. Oh, I should have let you tell me when to press the button, but I already pressed the button. So, all right. Sorry about that, Steve. We'll see.
Oh, that's okay. I don't know how to press it. It's fine. Pick got this too.
Yeah. All right. So for the second patch, tell me when to hit that draw button, and I will press it. Steve.
I'll do it now. Yeah.
All right. So for the second patch goes to Abigail. Congratulations, Abigail. So she gets a patch. All right. And our third prize this is going to be a Vector Optics poker chip with the 12% off code on the back of this. So let me know. Give me a countdown.
Let's go.
All right. Who's going to get the chip? Who's going to get the chip?
15% off. That's good. Sounds good.
Well, 12% off, I think. Let me see. Yeah, 12% off. So Vadim gets it. All right. So for the final grand prize, the Geisley admin pouch. Let me know when to hit the button, Steve.
All right. Go now.
All right.
Let's go.
Tim Mooney.
Tim Mooney. Tim Mooney, I need that.
Excellent. All right. Congratulations.
For my lanyards that I have to put in. So that's good. Great.
Well,
that's
awesome.
Cool.
Well, thanks again, Steve, for joining us.
Hey, my pleasure.
We barely scratched the surface. We didn't even really get into heavily talking about photography. And I don't know if any folks have had questions about how to get into photography. And I would actually like to talk to you about what your thoughts are on AI and how it's going to change the landscape of photography. But let's put a pin on that. And I'd love to have you back as a guest, maybe next month, if you're available.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Oh, hold on here a second. We got a comment from Vadim. It says, wait a minute, I've already got a poker chip. So Vadim, do you want me to give that away again? Do you want me to give the poker chip away? Let me know. Post right now, and I will bring up the and I'll swap you out, Vadim. I'll swap you out another some other prize or patch. All right. So let me just bring up share screen with the. Okay, so let me see here if I can bring this back up again. All right, tell me when to draw here.
Do it now.
Porsche Speedster, double winner today.
All right.
That's
a beautiful car.
That's hopefully he'll bring it out to the show, maybe.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks again, Steve. And I want to thank everybody out there for tuning in. I hope all of you get a chance to catch some of Steve's vinyl giveaways. And let me just put another link out there and also your Instagram.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Out there.
Anybody wants to follow, anybody wants to ask any questions about photography. If there's anything I don't know, I'll ask ChatGPT and tell you. I know it all. So
I'm also posting up my show notes, so you can also find links to Steve's socials in my notes for the show, along with other information about the show. So, thanks, okay, everyone, thanks for tuning in. You be safe out there. God bless. Moondog out. Hey, I'd like to know what you thought of this video. Leave me a comment or chat with me on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, MeWe, Instagram, or Locals. And if you want to see all of my videos, go to moondogindustries.com.